Uncle Mike ain't never ready, man. Ain't got the headphones on. What's up, YouTube? What's going on? Check it out. Hey, check this out, man. We at Doc Rich channel once again. Is it Gavin Newsom? Gavin Newsom, I have no idea who this is, has been done after this is leaked. Doc Rich actually cover a lot of government politic type stuff, and I'm learning from him. So I'm hoping that some of you guys are learning along with me. I'm learning. I don't claim to know it all. I'm just letting you guys know that I'm real. I don't try to perpetrate and try to act. I hate actors. I hate people that act like they know what they're talking about. And I'm learning. So hit that subscribe button, hit that bell. Doc Rich, man. Shout out to my man, Doc Rich. Go check his channel out and everything. So without any further ado, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell. Let's get our education hats on and let's check it out.
Delve back into these California fires because Gavin Newsom was recently, finally, I must add, on a Zoom call with Joe Biden. And he said something that was quite interesting. I mean, I'm not completely shocked by it, but it is really interesting that he said it. And honestly, the fact that we have this video clip out now, I think should absolutely seal the deal on Gavin Newsom having to resign and be completely out of politics, because this guy is completely incompetent. With that being said, let's dive in.
Let's dive in, baby.
We've got to deal with this misinformation. There were hurricane force winds of mis and disinformation, lies. People want to divide this country. And we're going to have to address that as well. And it breaks my heart as people are suffering and struggling that we're up against those hurricane forces as well. And that's just a point of personal privilege that I share that with you, because it infects real people that are out there, people I meet every single day, people the mayor's been meeting with, and they're having conversations that are not the typical conversations you'd have at this time. And you wonder where this stuff comes from. And it's very damaging as well. But we're here to get the job done.
So the first thing that this guy wants to talk about, or one of the first things that he wants to talk about, is the fact that we have to deal with this misinformation. Interesting, right? Very, very interesting how that is the first thing that this guy wants to talk about. But, you know, it's not shocking, because this is the Democrat playbook, as we learned just a few days ago from Mark Zuckerberg. Check it out.
These people from the Biden administration would call up our team and like scream at them and curse. And it's like, these documents it's all kind of out there.
Oh, did you record any of those phone calls?
I don't think we, but I think
I want to listen.
I mean, there are emails, the emails are published. It's all kind of out there. And they're like, and basically it just got to this point where we were like, no, we're not gonna take down things that are true. That's ridiculous. They wanted us to take down this meme of Leonardo DiCaprio looking at a TV talking about how 10 years from now or something, you're gonna see an ad that says, okay, if you took a COVID vaccine, you're eligible for, for this kind of payment, like this sort of like class action lawsuit type meme. And they're like, no, you have to take that down. And we just said, no, we're not going to take down humor and satire. We're not going to take down things that are true. And then at some point, I guess, I don't know, it flipped a bit. I mean, Biden, when he gave some statement at some point, I don't know if it was a press conference or to some journalists, where he basically was like, these guys are killing people. And I don't know, then like, all these different agencies and branches of government basically just like started investigating, coming after our company. It was brutal. It was brutal.
Yeah. So you heard it there from Mark Zuckerberg, who is someone who would have an inside, on what is actually happening. Obviously, he owns some major big companies. So he would have an insight on, some of the backroom conversations. But of course, blame it on misinformation, and not only that, but try to censor misinformation, even though we have learned that what they consider misinformation is typically the truth. Like, for example, the laptop, the famous example where they all told us that the laptop was Russian disinformation, and 50 intelligence agents signed off saying that it was Russian disinformation or misinformation, and it was true the entire time. But, you know, I am happy that he finally got on the phone with Joe Biden, because you guys remember that clip that I showed you guys the other day where a young lady ran up to him crying and he lied and said that he was on the phone with Joe Biden when in reality he wasn't on the phone at all. If you don't remember, here's a little refresher. Check it out.
Governor, you got a second? Governor, I live here, Governor. That was my daughter's school, Governor. Please tell me what you're going to do. I'm not going to hurt him, I promise.
I'm literally talking to the president right now to specifically answer the question of what we can do for you and your daughter.
He just said, I'm literally on the phone with the president right now. Now, just wait a second.
Can I hear it? Can I hear your call? Because I don't believe it.
I'm sorry. There's literally, I've tried 5 times. That's why I'm walking around to make the call.
Why is the president not taking your call?
Because it's not going through. So
Why?
I have to get cell service.
So let's get it. Let's get it. I want to be here when you call the president.
I appreciate it. I'm doing that right now. And it's to immediately get reimbursements, individual assistance.
First, he said he was on the phone with, okay, maybe I heard wrong. He said he was on the phone with the president. I'm on the phone with the president, like right now. That's what I'm thinking when he said it.
That was my daughter's school, Governor. Please tell me what you're going to do. I'm not going to hurt him, I promise.
I'm literally talking.
Yeah, that's funny. I'm sorry, off the point. I'm not going to hurt him, I promise. I'm not going to hurt, and he knew it. He knew that she's a concerned parent. That's not a threat. He knew that. What can you say? What can you do with her, how she's ran up on him? Watch this.
Governor, I live here, Governor.
I live here.
That was my daughter's school,
Security, look at the security.
Tell me what you're going to do. I'm not going to hurt him, I promise.
I'm literally talking to the president right now.
I'm literally talking to the president right now.
The question of what we can do for you and your daughter.
He just said, I'm literally on the phone with the president right now. Now, just wait a second.
Can I hear it? Can I hear your call? Because I don't believe it.
I'm sorry. There's literally, I've tried 5 times. That's why I'm walking around to make the call.
Why is the president not taking your call?
Because it's not going through. So
Why?
I have to get cell service.
So let's get it. Let's get it. I want to be here when you call the president.
I appreciate it. I'm doing that right now. And it's to immediately get reimbursements, individual assistance, and to help you. I'm devastated for you. I'm so sorry, especially for your daughter.
Anyway, so you just saw it there. He got caught up in a lie saying that he was on the phone with Joe Biden when in reality he wasn't. So
he looking for service.
He finally got on the phone with Joe Biden because apparently he can't do his job, even though he called someone else who can't do their job either. At least he's calling somebody finally, and he's not lying about it. Okay. Now, I do want to show this other clip because I'm not surprised because, of course, this is the Democrat playbook. Whenever something happens, point the finger at somebody else or something else and take no accountability for anything. Check out Gavin Newsom blaming climate change, of course.
Entire west coast of the United States, when you have temperatures, record-breaking temperatures, record droughts, then you've got something else at play. And that's exactly what the scientists have been predicting for half a century. It is here now. California, folks, is America fast forward. What we're experiencing right here is coming to a community all across the United States of America unless we get our act together on climate change, unless we disabuse ourselves of all the BS that's being spewed by a very small group of people that have an ideological reason to advance the cause of a 19th century framework and solution. We're not going back to the 19th century. We're not apologists to that status quo. We believe in the fresh air of progress versus the stale air. Emphasis, stale air.
Of course, blame climate change, right? Blame climate change. But, you know, one of the great things about this is that most Americans are no longer buying the BS. We're actually going in the right direction, in my humble opinion.
Yes.
And even CNN itself had to admit it.
I don't think Americans are making this connection. And the way we can see this in right here and now, take a look at the monthly change in Google searches. Look at the searches for wildfire. Up 2,400%. My goodness gracious. This is the most amount of people searching for wildfires ever, going back since Google Trends began back in 2004. But look at climate change. Look at the change. It doesn't go hand in hand with wildfires. It's actually down. It's down 9%. And I also looked in California. There has been no increase in the number of searches for climate change. So the bottom line is this. Americans are definitely interested in learning about these wildfires. They're interested in following the news about the wildfires, but they are not making that connection with climate change. That's the bottom line here.
That's a really key metric you're looking at there, the connection. Overall, Americans being worried about climate change, what have we seen over time?
Yeah, we have seen a lot of extreme weather events over the last few decades, right? Hurricanes, heat waves, wildfires. You might expect that Americans worry about climate change with climate change worry a lot. You go back to 1991, it was 35%. Now, it was a little bit higher in 2007, a little bit higher in 2022. But look at this. In 2023, the last time we have data, 39%. That is not statistically significantly different from this 35% back in 1991. So despite all these extreme weather events, Americans are really no more worried about climate change than they were, what is that, now nearly 35 years ago? I mean, there's just no real trend line here, Mr. Berman.
And that was 2023. I might argue that this number is lower now in 2025. I guess we're in 2025 now. Because this is an old number. Like, I would say that it's probably closer, that it's probably at 35 at this point, And I think one of the major reasons for that is because they have lied to us so much. In the thought process now amongst a lot of folks, including myself, and a lot of you said that you think the same, is whenever mainstream media pushes a narrative like they have been with climate change, we believe the exact opposite. Because so many times they have sat here and lied to us. This past campaign, they sat there and lied to us and told us that Kamala was the greatest thing since sliced bread. She was absolutely amazing. She ran a flawless campaign. Like literally, I've watched this clip of Joy Reid. Oh my God. Joy Reid sit on a panel and say that Kamala Harris ran a flawless campaign. Yeah, she said this on national television. A flawless campaign. Really? So a flawless campaign is when you burn through $2 billion in 3 months and have nothing to show for it? That's a flawless campaign? A flawless campaign is when you hide from the cameras until you realize, oh crap, my internal polls aren't improving. I got to get on camera. And then when you do finally get on camera, you bring your running mate Tim Walz with you. You can't even stand on your own 2 feet. That's a flawless campaign. A flawless campaign is when you go to a debate and you have like a little hint, wink deal with the golly, what do you call them? The people that run the thing. The crap. I'm drawing a blank right now.
That's okay.
The people that help out with the debate.
Right.
The people that sit up front. I think David Muir was one of them. Those folks, y'all know what I'm looking for. I'm drawing such a blank right now.
It's okay.
Anyway,
you the man.
When you have like a wink, hint deal with the people who run the debate, that they're gonna fact check your opponent, but they're not gonna fact check you. That's running a flawless campaign, really? Running a flawless campaign is spending $100,000 on a cardboard set in a hotel room. That's running a flawless campaign, right? Running a flawless campaign is paying celebrities to come out to your rallies and give a speech or make it seem as if they're going to give some type of concert. And some of them did give a concert, a booty shaking concert. She literally had an artist up there twerking, shaking booty at a presidential rally. That's running a flawless campaign, Joy Reid? Come on now. Come on now. I didn't even get into like the whole laptop is fake, it's Russian disinformation, or even when we were all talking about how Joe Biden isn't the same Joe Biden, and they all said, oh, well, those are a bunch of cheap fakes. That's right-wing cheap fakes. Joe Biden getting wandering off like a lost puppy, or being guided off the stage by Obama because he froze in place. He pulled a Mitch McConnell on stage. Those are right-wing cheap fakes. This is what our mainstream media was pushing. So of course, when you come out here and you say climate change, F you. We don't believe anything you're saying. And as a matter of fact, since you're saying it, we believe the exact opposite. It don't exist. Well, y'all need to do X, Y, Z in this. Matter of fact, get the splooge in your arm. Y'all remember that? Yeah. Y'all remember they told us to get the splooge? And we're like, well, see, if you get the splooge in your arm, you won't get sick at all. Y'all remember that? When they first started telling us, you won't get sick. And then people actually still got sick. Well, then they changed it and said, well, you got to get a booster. You got to get an extra dose of splooge. Get an extra dose of splooge and you won't get sick. Then people still got sick. Well, if you get the extra splooge, you won't be as sick. So no, we don't believe anything they're saying at all whatsoever. Let me know if y'all agree. I have a feeling that you guys do agree, because we've talked about this in past videos, and I've read through the comment section, which I do read through the comment section, and all of you guys agree. All of you guys agreed. But I want to play this clip as well from, I can't remember this chick's name, Jillian Michaels. Jillian Michaels, yes.
That's the part that outrages me. Oh, this is unprecedented. No, it's not unprecedented. I mean, California burns down every single year.
Facts. Like, y'all, listen. These Democrats need to buy a toilet and a ruler and get their shit straight. Because this is just absolutely ridiculous. California burns every single year. You can bet on it. Matter of fact, if there was a way that I could bet on it, I probably would. I'm so serious. This is ridiculous. It burns every single year. And we haven't, well, not we, but Democrats haven't figured that out by now. Carry on, Jillian.
What do you mean you're going to do better next time? That woman in tears saying to the governor, is it going to be different next time? Oh, it has to be. It needed to be different this time, Gavin. And there's simply no excuse. I really don't even believe you can blame it on incompetence, because there's already a mandate. For example, in 2014, Proposition 1 passed that put billions of dollars towards building new reservoirs. That's already in place. Not one has been built. There have been calls for controlled burns for decades. We did them historically throughout my entire childhood and young adult life in California. And now we've stopped because I'm not even quite sure. It could be the cost, I've heard. It could be environmental pressures. It could be both.
This is crazy, man.
So she hit the nail on the head. Hit the nail right on the head. This happens every single year. This is no one's fault but Gavin's. He is to blame for this, 1,000%. Gavin Newsom and the Democrats that run California are the ones to blame, and Gavin Newsom needs to resign. Gavin Newsom needs to resign.
Whoa.
1,000%. And Trump, of course, has been talking about this. This is the thing. This is the thing about Trump. Trump might say something that sounds crazy at one point, but from what I've seen, this guy's right every single time. Every single time, this guy is right.
The nation's 27 Republican governors for dinner at Mar-a-Lago, echoing comments he made earlier in the week about California's response to the wildfires. Trump didn't hold back when it came to criticizing California Governor Gavin Newsom.
I got all of the approvals, and he said, I don't want to sign it. I don't want the water. We don't need the water. I said, you need the water. Your reservoirs are empty, the whole place. You need the water. That was 5 years ago. And if you notice yesterday, the hydrants were empty. They didn't have any water, many of them. And that's the reason that this happened. He wouldn't do what we wanted. And we're going to force that upon him now. But it's very late, because I think it's one of the great catastrophes in the history of our nation.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, this is huge stuff. Huge stuff.
See, this is the stuff right here, the younger generation. This is why I'm doing this. Because you need to get some understanding, because just like Doc Rich is saying, the news, which is controlled by for lack of a better word, I don't know who it's controlled by. It's controlled by somebody, the Democrats. And what they preaching and telling you what they want you to hear. And we believe it because it's on the news. Don't believe, you got to believe your heart. You got to research yourself. Get on YouTube, get on any social media platform and listen to. The best way to learn anything is to listen to both sides. If you don't know, you got to listen to both sides, because the side you want to listen to, they could be lying to you. You understand what I'm saying? They could be lying to you. So listen to the other side. At least listen to the other side where they lying. But listen to exactly word for word what you think they lying about. You got to listen to both sides to do this research, y'all. It's for real.
Because I think it's one of the great catastrophes in the history of our nation.
Yeah. I mean, this is huge stuff. Huge stuff. Trump tried to give him the water that he needed before, and he refused it. He refused it. Because, of course, big brother government is supposed to come in and save the day. The average American taxpayer, like you and I, are supposed to come in and save California from Democrats and Gavin Newsom's terrible policies. Well, to that, I say, fuck no. And I know. That may sound cruel. I get it. I understand.
Passionate about it.
But we are not here to play cover for Democrats' terrible policies. At some point in time, there has to be some accountability here. And let me make this clear. I guess I should say things this way. Do I agree that Americans should probably help out with California? Yeah, a little bit. But there needs to be a stipulation added onto that. One, that we're not helping again. You got to figure this the F out, okay? This happens every single year. You know it's coming. Do something. There has to be wholesale changes across the board. One could be controlled burns, right? Cleaning out these areas where there's all this brush just sitting around, okay? Changing your laws on the books so cops can actually arrest these folks, these criminals that you just keep letting back out onto the streets, you know, because I've heard stories, now this is all alleged, that some of these fires, maybe not so much in this case, I don't know, but some of these fires are being started by arsonists. Why are these people still out on the streets? Lock these folks away and throw away the key. Like this, they're literally putting thousands of people's lives at risk by doing this stuff. But, you know, Senator Markey, Republican senator, he said it perfectly. Check it out.
While radical climate Democrats control California, they control the White House. Do you think that when the disaster aid in the Senate comes through, that Congress will put some kind of limits on it, going, we're not wasting it on your nonsense, California. We're getting it to the people who've been hurt?
We certainly should. You know, I certainly wouldn't vote for anything unless we see dramatic change in how they're going to be handling these things in the future. But again, these fires, the disaster, the catastrophe that these fires were, you can't prevent fires, but you can certainly prevent the catastrophe. It's about preventable. These are decisions Californian Democrats have made year after year after year. They divert water into the ocean. They don't fill up their reservoirs. They don't clean up their forests. They don't get rid of the brush. The real tinder, the real fuel for these fires. So again, it's their fault.
Well,
yeah, it's their fault. Now, of course, like you said, I agree. There are things that happen, right? There are natural disasters that just happen. Okay, like nobody's saying that the fire itself, right, or the hurricane itself, or the tornado itself, or whatever, right, is directly due to someone, right? But the fact that it grew to this extent, the fact that it caused this much damage, 1,000%, it is on the Democrats for sure. And any bill that comes to the House and to the Senate should have some stipulations on it. Like he said, hey, there needs to be wholesale changes in what the hell you guys are doing there. Otherwise, this money ain't coming. It's not coming. And no, this money is not to be spent on any DEI, BS, or crap, or spent on saving some stupid little fish that Gavin Newsom cares so much about, apparently, which is why they didn't divert the water down through all of California and they diverted it out to the ocean, which, idiot, right? Idiot. Okay? That money needs to go directly to the people. To the people, okay? That need it. Simple.
Very simple.
Hey, what do y'all think, man? What do y'all think? I think Gavin Newsom needs to resign. I doubt that he will. I mean, I'd say that him resigning is probably at like a 0%. There's probably like a 0% chance of him resigning realistically. And yes, I said realistically about a 0% chance of him resigning because, of course, we all know Gavin Newsom is trying to gear up for a presidential run in 2028. Will it be successful? I doubt it. But that is what he's gearing up for. And yeah, I don't see him resigning after this. But we'll see. What do y'all think? Peace and love. I'm out.
Most definitely, man. Y'all let me know in the comments. Is this helpful to you guys so you can get understanding of what's going on and why these things are happening, especially in California, man. Golly. I'm going to get on up out of here. Y'all take it light, take it slow. Tell them Uncle Mike told you so. Peace out.